Hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, based on your local time. Welcome to our project management webinar. I want to thank you each and everyone for joining us today. We truly appreciate your time and showing interest in our project management webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. I can see here around 57 participants have joined yet. We are expected to more participant, but let's start now due to time limitations. Let me quickly introduction myself. Myself is Pratiksha. I'm from Knowlathon. Knowlathon is one of the premium training and certification providing company from India, based out of Pune and established in 2012. We are accredited partners with PeopleCert, PMI, ISACA, and many more. That is all about Knowledgeon. About our today's speaker, Mr. Anand Kulkarni. Anand has overall 19 plus years of experience. He has delivered 200 sessions on project management. So hopefully today's webinar will be also gives us valuable insights to all the participants. All the best and thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get started. I will hand over this session to Mr. Anand sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Pratiksha. I hope everybody is able to see me and hear me clearly.
Yes, sir. You are audible and visible as well.
Okay, thank you, Bhushan. Okay, so let's get going about project management, what the project management is, and more importantly, from the career perspective, what are the different options in this particular segment. Okay, uh, I hope everybody can see the Q&A section, question and answer section, and you can post your questions throughout the session there. Uh, After the presentation, there will be time dedicated for Q&A, so you can park all your questions there, and we will take it after the presentation. Okay, fine. So the basics first. What's on the agenda quickly? Though this is a short webinar, we are going to see what is project management in general, why project management is required, why organizations need different project managers first. Uh, PMP, Sprints to Scrum, Agile, Kanban, DevOps. There are so many frameworks and methods and methodologies and a lot of discussion around terms and terminologies and what is right and what is wrong and what is the correct one or which is the true one to be more precise. So we'll see a bit about it. Then the different opportunities in the project management career scope, different domains, uh, which domain prefers which particular type of certifications. We will see that as well. A bit about Prince 2 Agile. We will see that along the way about PMP as well, and benefits of certification process itself. And then the Q&A session will be there. Okay. We have a short presentation. So the idea is that we will be able to answer more as many questions as possible. Okay. So what is project management? The textbook definition says uh, there are two popular frameworks out there which have the largest market share. So one of them is Prince 2 and the other is PMBOK. People call it PMP, but PMP is the exam which is based on PMBOK. Book of knowledge is project management book of knowledge on which that particular framework is. So Prince 2 says planning, delegating, monitoring, and control of all aspects of project and the motivation of those involved to achieve the project objectives within the expected performance targets of time, cost, quality, scope, benefits, and risk. That is what Prince 2 says about project management. This is a textbook definition. And for the same, the PMP says it is application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities in order to meet or exceed stakeholder needs and expectations from a project. Now, these are textbook definitions, and they can be, I mean, they are as boring as they can be. Hmm? Why organizations want project management in the first place? What's the benefit of implementing any project management method? Hmm? Again, should I call it a method? Should I call it a framework? Should I call it a methodology? That debate is there. I will leave it at this point. Okay. So the idea is that every organization has to uh, come up with new products, improve their existing services, improve their existing products. And if you consider things like IT, then they have to retire products as well. Now, you have to do this at a higher pace, at a much higher space to be more precise, considering the current environment. If you don't do it, somebody else will do it, right? So, I mean, the customer has many other options. I mean, you look at any industry, you look at telecom, you look at banking, you look at insurance, you name it, they have it, right? Any industry where if one organization doesn't launch its product in time, when they compare it to the competitors, obviously the business is going to go to the competitor. I mean, forget about all these big things about the time. If you don't get your food on time from whatever food aggregator you are ordering it, chances are the next time you are going to choose the other one, right? So the organizations are increasingly faced with this tough problem, that how do we make sure that every investment, every penny we invest in this particular project actually delivers something. And this happens repeatedly. So no matter what kind of project we are launching, product we are launching, no matter what kind of service we are launching, uh, we might be uh, launching a product where basically it is already there in the market. It could be sometimes completely novel product where there is no previous experience, previous data available. What kind of project we are talking about, right? So organizations are dealing with all of these uncertainties. And in all these uncertainties, they need something that can help them in uh, predicting the projects, or more predictability about the projects. And that is where the frameworks help the organizations. So you are going to launch a product, whatever product it is. You could be launching a new application which helps people to I mean, order food, or maybe order food cheaper, or find out the application which delivers the cheapest food or fastest food or anything. So, I mean, just an anecdote, you may want to uh, find an launch an application which can help you in finding the right NGO to help children. Anything is uh, project, okay, and you have to do it fast. How do you make sure that you do it consistently every single time, every investment, every time you make an investment in a project? How do you make sure that that investment gives you the best returns, right? And that is where the consistency comes into picture, predictability comes into picture. One of the biggest things with the projects compared to business as usual part is risk management. The projects inherently are more risky. And when they are more risky, why they are more risky? Because there are too many moving components. You have to depend on the suppliers, you have to depend on the OEMs, you have to depend on the service providers, you have to depend on the customers' requirements, you have to depend on the government regulation, you have to depend on the people, and so on and so forth. I can extend the list in this. So when there are too many moving parts and you have relatively less control, how do you make sure that you deliver it every single time with far more certainty? So that is where the project management framework comes into picture. Idea is, if you have a project management framework in place, it will help your organization to deliver the project every single time in a predictable way, in the uh, estimated cost time. and other constraints. Okay, resources, estimated cost, estimated time, estimated resources, and most importantly, does the results of the project actually do what they are supposed to do, right? So if you are supposed to reduce some cost, then the result of the project reduces some cost. If you expect to acquire more bigger market share, then the results of the project help you with that. That is what the project management is supposed to do. Now, this is going to be tough task. Why? The rate of change has increased a lot for everyone. It's not like it has increased for just one organization. It has increased for you. It has increased for your competitor. You can ignore that at your peril, right? If your competitor, I mean, if you ignore it and the competitor does it, obviously their product is going to take over the market. That's it. That's a hard truth. So that is where the project management comes into picture, right? So you might be moving from one cloud platform to other cloud platform. You might be moving your on-premises infra to cloud infra. You might be doing it other way around as well for compliance reasons. And then there are governments all over the world coming up with new regulations, new laws, new compliance every now and then, right? As we speak, there are at least 6 to 7 major countries which are coming up with data protection law. And this is just one domain and one example, right? So as soon as those laws are passed, because they are in the draft state as of now, so as soon as that particular law is passed, every organization operating in that region will have to comply with that law. They will have to review their practices. They will have to review their documentation. They will have to review their policies, litigations, and all that. Now, how do you do it? You did it for one country. Okay, then there is another country that is coming up with its own law. How do you deal with that? This is where the project management is going to help you in achieving that particular target. So you need projects, I mean, you initiate projects for all different kinds of reasons, right? But here you have to make sure that every single time you do, the project does, or the results of the project do what they are expected, right, to do. Another important part in this is that uh, the overall control uh, with respect to the cost and resources is also important. Sometimes it's possible that you may deliver the product that is expected, but at a significantly higher cost. Now, this is again of no use to anyone, right? The customer might be happy, your organization might not be happy, or you might launch a product which is not financially viable. You see those things all around you, right? You look at the government infrastructure projects, and the fun part is uh, all over the globe. I see a project manager enthusiast, the infrastructure projects all over the globe are either running behind the schedule, are either over budget, way over budget sometimes, and there is always politics being played around in that particular country, right? Why all of this happens? Let's keep the politics part, but let the politicians deal with that. But for us, the idea is the project management as a factor, as a stream is so much important. Billions and millions are wasted if you don't deliver the project on time. And if even if you consider smaller projects being undertaken in any organization, even there you have to ensure that the project does what it is supposed to do in the given cost. Sometimes that's not going to happen. Now, here you will have to take the difficult decision of scrapping the project. Again, how do you do that? At what point in time you do that? Do you do that at the beginning of the project, in the middle of the project, at the end of the project? The project management frameworks, the project management is supposed to help you take this decision, even scrapping the project in the right time, making sure that your organization saves maximum amount of resources. Whatever resources you have invested, they are already invested, but at least for the remaining part, if you take that decision right on time, then you will be able to save organizations precious resources, and those can be invested in another project. So that is the idea of project management for any organization, be it a for-profit entity, be it an NGO, be it a government entity, be it a super government entity like United Nations, UNESCO, any agency. That's the idea of project management, right? United Nations, for example, undertakes lots of humanitarian projects. The idea is to benefit a certain people. So that is where The project management has to come into picture. You do that, but at a cost that is acceptable to everyone, and you do that in the time that is acceptable to everyone, right, including the affected people primarily. So this is where the project management is going to help us, or this is where the project management is supposed to help us. There are various studies about it. I would just mention one that was done by Gartner back in 2015, which said that lot of organizations undertake projects, but the organizations which have some kind of project management in place, the chances of success are more in those organizations. But such chances of project success are more in those organizations, and where there is no repeatable method in place, the chances of success of the project are lower. So that is the reason organizations want to have or should have the structured project management methods in place. How does it come into the life of an individual? Now, we are all organization is individuals, we, the people. This is where we, the people, come into picture. We are supposed to ensure that these things happen. As a project manager, you can ensure that these things happen. Okay. So, how can we do that? By acquiring various skill sets. These are skill sets that are available. They built on the experience of thousands and thousands of other project managers, many successful and many more unsuccessful projects. So that is where the best practice comes into picture. And as an individual, as a project manager, as a project management professional, you can acquire that knowledge that is available out there and help your organization in managing the projects in a better way, and that will increase the predictability, improve the risk management in the organization. That's the whole idea. Now if you look at the side, it's manage all kinds of projects in a structured way, come up with a repeatable way. You should have a standard repository. If you are doing same type of projects over and over again, then you should have more or less the skeleton of the project ready, which will help you in taking the right decisions at right point in time, benefiting the project and in turn the organization. And when this happens, that is where the individual benefits from this, right? When you save the organization's money, or when you deliver the project product on time and the customers are happy, that is where an individual benefits. You get to get a chance to grow in your career. That's the idea, or that's the benefit for an individual. Now, if you look at the available options, there are many. We'll talk about a few. Hmm. So one is Prince 2, projects in controlled environment, and this is offered by Axelos people set. Those in the know will know that these two organizations are more or less one now. So the project management in controlled environment, or Prince 2, the current edition of this is sixth edition. This is comprehensive project management framework. It gives you a skeleton where you can manage end-to-end project. And this, the beauty of this particular framework is that it is scalable. So you can use it for large project, you can use it for small projects of any size. Okay, and especially if you are doing repeatable, same type of projects again and again, then this can be way more beneficial, where you can come up with a standard template that can be used for everything. This is more popular. Uh, this is obviously by a UK. Originally, it started as UK government thing. Then Axelos came into picture, but primarily it is popular in the EU, the Commonwealth area, basically South Africa, Australia, those region. It is making inroads in North America as well, but primarily it is popular in that region. Okay, so there are a couple of concepts that are used in here which are absolutely sacrosanct, where the those organizations use Prince 2. Those concepts are absolutely sacrosanct, and they want people who know those concepts. They want people who can handle those concepts. Okay, now we will talk about exams in a moment about Prince 2. Then there is Prince 2 Agile. Now, Prince 2 Agile is essentially a mix of Prince 2 plus key Agile framework. So essentially, a bit of Kanban, Scrum, and Lean Startup. All of this is covered in Prince to Agile. Okay, so the idea is what PMI calls hybrid approach or repeatable approach or iterative approach. Here we have that in Prince to Agile. Okay, so if you are an organization which is undertaking smaller projects which are currently being handled by Agile, and you want a governance aspect, a framework that will help you with the governance part, then the Prince to Agile will come into picture. Primarily popular within the IT, which are using some form of Agile at least. Okay, so that is where it introduces the governance and helps the organization in having a bird's eye view and then controlling from that perspective. Then we have PMP. This is probably the most popular project management framework offered by PMI. PMI is a pretty comprehensive framework. It is also it also gives you end-to-end uh, structure for managing different kinds of projects. There are people who say that it's a bit difficult to follow the entire PMBOK, but again, the PMBOK doesn't say that you have to follow that through and through, right? You can pick and choose. Additionally, an important part about PMBOK is that the newer versions of PMBOK, starting from 6 and now PMBOK 7 is already there. The PMBOK has adopted a lots of agile concepts, and the current framework of PMP, the exam also contains a lot of that. Okay, though this framework was originally popular in the engineering industry or old school legacy industries, as we call it, there, this has been adopted on a large scale by IT organizations as well. Hmm? PMP is the popular exam. PMP, Project Management Professional, is the exam based on the PMBOK. Okay. The Agile or Scrum. Now, this is a pretty common question that what to do in Agile, as if Agile is a single thing. No, Agile is an umbrella, a pretty large umbrella, and under that umbrella, there are lots of things. But what is not there is Agile in itself is not a project management framework. Okay, there are a lot of things available under the umbrella of Agile. The most popular under that umbrella are Scrum. Okay, now if you talk about certifications available in this particular segment, then you have CSM, Certified Scrum Master, then you have PSM, Professional Scrum Master, then you have SAFe, Scaled Agile Framework. Within Scaled Agile Framework, there are many other many certifications, and which you can you can choose from those options. But remember, in general, when we talk about Scrum, it is a repeatable, iterative and incremental approach. So you might be dealing with a software product, and you have to keep on improving those products as the requirements keep coming. Uh, there you can use Scrum. Additionally, Scrum is also used to a good extent in the service management itself. For example, if you are dealing with service requests regularly, if you are dealing with incidents or changes, small changes, of course, there Scrum is used a lot by IT organizations, to be more precise. Okay, uh, this is being adopted by the old school industry, engineering industry or manufacturing industry, and so on. But still, to a large extent, this is used within the IT, even though it is working a lot with the engineering, manufacturing, and all other types of industries. It is primarily used there. What are the different frameworks available out there? I will just tell you a few names, and then we will see the popular certifications out there. So, under the Agile umbrella, you can call Scrum, Scrum Alliance, Scrum.org, both are part of it, of the Agile concept. Okay, then you have Agile PM, then you have Kanban, you have DevOps, you have Safe, I already said, right? You have Lean Startup, you have Lean. So, there are many under this umbrella. When people use the term many times, they mean Scrum. Now, this is not exactly a wrong thing, but Scrum alone does not mean Agile. There are many other things that can be considered as Agile. Okay, so what exactly are we referring? What do we want? What does our organization do? Based on that, we should select the right certification there. This is not a project management framework technically, but if we keep the academic discussion aside, it is many times considered as requirement or as a prerequisite for project managers, especially if you are going to become a project manager in an organization which is already using some kind of agile. Okay, some form of agile. That could be anything. That could be Scrum Ban, that could be Kanban, that could be pure Scrum, or that could be safe anywhere in between. Okay. Now, the career scope that is available for the project managers. First of all, there I don't know a single industry where there is no project management, starting from pharma industry to old school manufacturing industries, food industry, food and drug industry, any industry, fashion, film, you name it, and they need a project manager. Okay. So there are lots of opportunities for project managers. Now, this is about a project manager. This is about a person who wants to become a project manager as a, wants to choose project manager as a dedicated profession and full-time project manager. Additionally, this particular skill set is also desirable for the people who are handling business as usual things, doing day-to-day operations, and they have to deal with usual updates or regular launching or upgrades or things like that. Right, so it could be related to people, technology, anything. You could be changing your ACD, automatic call distribution tool. Now that's also possible, right? So that is where you can uh, switch to the. I mean, you can think about project manager as an additional skill to your. I mean, additional to your existing skills. That's also a good option for the individuals who are looking at this particular skill set. That how this particular skill set can help those individuals. Okay. If and apart from this, there are also uh, opportunities available for the individuals on contract basis. So you can become a project manager for a certain period of time. As in, you can look after a particular project, and as that project is over, you can move on to something else. So those opportunities are also available in the market. It's a matter of choice that what kind of engagement you want, and what kind of how much time you want to dedicate to the project management. This is always an option, but considering this is a full-time thing, there you have every domain expertise, one of the things which is not exactly a prerequisite but is required many times. So there are organizations which do hire people from different backgrounds who may not have domain expertise. So that option is there. You can always join as a functional project manager. But then there is technical project manager where you will have to have the domain expertise. You have to know you need to know the industry, the intricacies of that particular industry. Okay, so that is there. But then the other side, other options are also there. You have to decide, okay, what kind of project manager you want to become. Remember, project manager is required from implementing ISO 27000 to 20000 to 9000 to 14000 to ISO infinity. Okay, so every time you are going to do that, you need a project manager. So it's not something that is a standalone skill. Literally, every stream at some point in time is going to need a project, because projects are all about upgrades, retirements, or modifications to your existing baselines. So at some point in time, everybody is going to come across a project, and that is where this skill set is going to help you. Some people might be interested in handling projects every day. Some people might come across this as one-off thing. That's a matter of choice, right? But this skill set is very desirable. So these are the options. And as I said, the domains, there is absolutely no domain which does not need a project manager at some point in time. Okay. The duration, of course, varies. The size and scale of the projects vary. The compliance requirements vary, of course. Hmm? Hmm? Now, what are the available certifications in the market? So these are some of the popular certifications available in the market. I will just tell you the certifications and the prerequisites for each of those. As the slide says, this is a brief list, not an exhaustive list. But these are the most popular ones. Okay. And as you can see, I have included CSM and PSM already there. SAFE is also there. Because though academically it's not exactly a project management framework, many times it is considered under the umbrella. So it's okay, fine. So Prince 2 practitioner, you have two certifications there. One is Prince 2 Foundation, for which there is no prerequisite. You can, the people who are studying, who are graduating, can appear for Prince 2 Foundation. And then once they clear the Prince 2 Foundation, they can go for Prince 2 practitioner. Then you have Prince 2 Agile Foundation and Practitioner. The structure is same. There is no prerequisite, though some experience or some knowledge about the project management is recommended, but it's a recommendation, not a prerequisite. So you will have to go for, then you can go for Prince 2 Agile Foundation, and once you clear that, then you can go for Prince 2 Agile Practitioner as well. Then we have PMP, Project Management Professional. In Project Management Professional, we have uh, CAPM is there. CAPM is for the people who are entering into the domain, into the fraternity, we can say, and want to get ahead in the project management field. But PMP is the project management certification, and you need certain experience. There are certain prerequisites for the PMP. Also, there is one important thing to remember. Prince 2 practitioner, Prince 2 Agile practitioner, the exams for both of these are based on the standard manuals by Axelos for both Prince 2 practitioner and Prince 2 Agile practitioner. For PMP, the exam is based on uh, exam content outline, ECO, issued by PMI. Okay, so that's a bit complex structure, a bit different, I would say, rather than complex than what Prince 2 or Prince 2 Agile does. But more or less, you can say it is aligned to the latest version of the PMBOK, Project Management Book of Knowledge. Hmm. Then you have CSM, PSM, Leading Safe. Now, Certified Scrum Master, Professional Scrum Master, Leading Safe are also additionally options. Safe, Leading Safe is a pretty popular certificate right now. I'll just give you the brief about it. How does it work? So, when you are talking about a single team, a small team of like up to 7 people, uh, and that is the whole team. Okay, there is nothing beyond that. So then you have Scrum being used in that particular team, and there you need a Scrum Master. So there you can go for Certified Scrum Master or Professional Scrum Master. Now, Scaled Agile Framework. The word scaled essentially means that there are many more individuals or many more teams involved in that, and you need a better structure to handle all of this. So that is where the leading safe comes into picture. So CSM is way more popular. PSM comes next to it significantly. And leading safe, again, the organizations which are already using safe, they will definitely prefer the people who have that certification. Okay, but CSM, PSM, leading safe, they all will fall under the agile umbrella. Okay, so organizations which are already having something, a couple of things going on, there are significant number of people are already using it. So for those people, it is always, for those organizations, it is always a good thing to choose the individuals who have this particular skill set. Okay. Now, what is the benefit of uh, doing a project management certification? First benefit is that you get recognized in the fraternity. You are looking for a new job, you are looking for a promotion, you want that particular post, you want that particular role. So that is where the project manager, PMP or Prince 2 practitioner or Prince 2 Agile practitioner, depending on what is your target, will help you. Okay, so this could be within your own organization, this could be outside your organization. By you might want to switch, whatever your choices, whatever your plan. There, this will help you get a step closer to your target. If you are looking for it within your own organization, then recognition from the organization, and that could come in various forms. Like you might get a project manager role in your organization, or it's possible that you already have significant project management experience, but you need a formal certification that is, which is recognized by everyone, right? You know, you have the experience, you have the wherewithal to handle a project. Of course, yes. But then, how do you tell it to the other people? How do you tell it to the third person? That is where the certification helps you, that you can get that recognition. Hmm? More opportunities in the career advancement, recognition from the peers and fraternity, especially if you are a seasoned or experienced project manager and you get a certificate, then you obviously become part of the project managers fraternity. Stay ahead of the curve, as in when you get into it, both the PMP, Prince 2 or CSM, all of these certifications need renewal after certain time. Again, each of these have different rules for the renewal or different ways to renew or continue that certificate. But all of them expect you to learn something new every now and then, right? Every year at least. This helps you in learning what is happening in that particular domain. Okay, when you keep doing that every now and then, obviously you will know what is happening in this particular domain before, who might not be familiar with the certification, or people who might not have time to look into all of this because they don't have the certification. Okay, so there, this helps you stay ahead of the curve. And as a good thing, once you have that certification, then you can contribute to the project management fraternity, better project management in your own organization, or even to the framework like Timbok or Prince2 by engaging with the community. So that is also a possibility. So these are all the benefits of doing any project management certification. Hmm? Okay, I think I have overspoken a bit, so I will stop now and wait for the questions. Yes, seems the questions are loading. Okay, so hmm, we have a question here. What is the years of experience required to appear for PMP certification? Now, if you have uh, a graduate's degree, a 4 year degree, then you need 3 years of experience. And if it is less than that, then you need 5 years of experience. Now, one important thing about this prerequisite is that experience does not mean that you have to have managed projects. You could have participated in the projects, you could be a project coordinator, you could be a project stock, is also possible. Okay, so it's not necessary that you are uh, a project manager for 5 years. Not necessary. You could have done all kinds of projects. It could be even like shifting your office is also a project, right? So that participation in that is necessary. So that is the prerequisite. And how do they validate the shared experience? So essentially, uh, you have to fill up the form. When you go for the exam, and then they validate the experience, where you have to give the contact details of the people of your who might validate that yes, you have were part of this, or you have done what you have written. So those could be your colleagues, friends, somebody who was with you at that point in time. Okay, so Scrum Master with relevant 3+ years of experience, CSM, SSM certified, which certification can help for growth in role and experience? Okay, CSM and SSM is already done. If it is 3+ years, um, then Prince 2 or Prince 2 Agile Foundation Practitioner might help. Foundation is good to begin with if the total experience is 3+ years. Hmm? Okay, let me see what other questions we have. Which project management certificate is best to be in race in PM for long time? This uh, okay. So see, even if you do any of these or all of these certifications, the frameworks themselves are changing. PMBOK in the last 10 years has changed 3 times, right? From 5 to 6 to now 7. Prince 2 has changed from Prince to 2017. Prince to 2017 version was launched. It was later called as Prince to 6th edition. And next might be Prince to 7 as and when it comes out. So essentially, if the framework itself is changing, the best thing to do is keep updating yourself. Okay. So, mm, okay. Which is the beginner certification you would recommend for a person from L1 support domain? Hmm. Uh, See, total experience and the role needs to be understood in a bit in detail, but I would say uh, either CAPM, Certified Associate Project Manager, or uh, Prince 2 or Prince 2 Agile Foundation would be good at this level, at this juncture. Hmm. Okay. Uh, if someone doesn't have current role in PM and wants to plan as a career path, how to go ahead? This is actually a good question. Uh, the best thing to begin with is best thing is to begin with a role like a SPOC or a PMO, project management office within that team, or become a coordinator or a SPOC, and then you could get familiar with the environment, with the whole structure, how projects are managed, the finance, budgeting, resourcing, all parts of it. Okay. And then next thing could be going for formal first certification. So any foundation level certificate. And after you have 2 to 3 years of experience, then you can go for PMP or practitioner certifications. That would be a better way to go from, I mean, start project management as career. Okay, 1 second, it is loading. Hmm. Okay, so uh, major incident with 8 years of experience and get into project management roles. Is the certifications mandatory or Prince 2 or PMP? See, none of it is mandatory by the organizations. You can always get ahead of the queue when you have that certification, and that is just getting ahead of the queue. And once you start doing the project management, the best practices help you in uh, delivering more and more successful projects, in helping you further advancement of your career. Okay. So though, I mean, nobody calls it as a prerequisite, it's always going to give you an edge. Hmm. Okay. uh okay, so with total 4 years of experience in operations domain. I think I just explained this, where you can start as a project SPOC or project coordinator or part of project PMO, project management office, and uh, get your hands dirty in that sense, in the project management sense, and then move up the ladder over a period of time. As I said, doing the foundation of any of these is the good thing to begin with. Hmm. Also, finalize your market. Hmm. Okay, so we have a question uh, that Prince 2 Agile 6th edition is being done, but 7th edition will be published in September 23 for Prince 2. No, Prince 2 Agile's 7th edition is not coming anytime soon. Prince 2's new edition is coming, and even there, as far as I know, the differences between the current version and the new version are not extraordinary. And these certificates will still have the validity of standard 3 years. Okay, so this won't affect in a major way to the people who are already getting certified or are going to get certified in the near future, because there is always a period of overlap, and then they stop it. Okay, so no need to worry about that part. Okay, yes, any more questions you can type in the Q&A, guys. Hmm? No questions. I did not get this question. Uh, Talking about close to what? I don't know what. Okay. Can we switch to other industry with these certifications, or do we need to have good knowledge in the switching industry? Okay. So the thing is, depending on the geography, the region you are in, this changes. So there are certain parts where the prerequisite is the domain knowledge or knowledge of that particular industry. But in there are certain countries where prerequisite of that particular industry isn't necessary, but they expect you to know the project management. Okay, so you can become a project manager in a completely different industry, and those options are available. Hmm. So that depends from on the region in which we are. Okay, how much time required to study for PMP? Um, Considering the ECO exam content outline and everything, uh, you can study for PMP, or the recommended time for a PMP is 1.5 months, roughly, assuming that you are able to give some time every single day. Okay, so if you are able to do that, then 1.5 months should be sufficient. But this includes studying the book, this includes s- s- doing the questions, practicing the questions, and then going for the exam. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, there is one. Okay. I am playing the role of PM for more than 8 years with the government and PSU project. Prince 2 expired. Shall I go for PMP, or should wait for the new version of Prince 2 or any other certification to upskill myself with career goals? With 8 years of experience, if you have already done Prince 2, then you can also think about MSP, Managing Successful Programs, which is essentially uh, next level of skills. So you can think about, you have already done Prince 2 certificate is expired. Now you will have to start from Prince 2 foundation and practitioner. But if you have and you have managed significant projects, then it is better to go for MSP as well, Managing Successful Programs, which is a different framework. As the name says, it is about managing successful programs. Okay, fine. What additionally we should do to get job for PM after certification if companies are hiring PM with minimum 4 5 experience? Okay. So, as I said, you should start with project coordinator, project spock role. Uh, Chances of getting a direct entry without an experience or certification as a project manager are difficult. But if you have experience or certification or both, then it is always good. So, the suggestion or the recommendation is that always start with some role in the project management team, and then from there get going. So always that role is going to be a junior role, assistant project manager, or some kind of thing. Do remember that it is not just a title of project manager, but there are actual projects to be managed. Okay, so those projects could be small or big. That's a separate story. But make sure that there are actual projects and you are not becoming a BAU manager, business as usual manager. That would give you a different experience. There is nothing. I mean, project management is not going to help there. Okay, fine. I think we have answered all the questions. Yes, yes. Okay, fine. Uh, so thank you guys. I will now hand it over to Bhushan. Hmm?
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, I am Bhushan, a senior learning advisor at Knowlathon. As we near the end of this insightful project management webinar conducted by Anand sir, we want to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to him for sharing his extensive knowledge and experience in the field. Anand sir's expertise has undoubtedly enriched our understanding of project management principles and best practices. We would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you, our valued participants, for your active engagement and thoughtful participation throughout the session. Your eagerness to learn and ask meaningful questions has contributed the success of this webinar. As promised, we will be providing each participant with a participation certificate as a token of participation for your dedication to enhancing your project management skills. These certificates will be made available to you within the next 7 business days. Uh, we hope that we hope that the insights gained from this webinar will empower you to navigate through your projects with greater confidence and efficiency. Remember, the learning doesn't end here. It's a continuous journey of growth and improvement. I will be guiding you on your certification journey right from your enrollment to obtaining your certification. You can connect with me using the contact number or email ID displayed on the screen. Once again, thank you, Anand sir, and all participants for making this webinar a success. We look forward to having you join us for future webinars as well. Wishing you all the best in your project management journey. Thank you very much, all. Thanks.